Hiya, I've been asked to put together a quick video on YouTube for my YouTube channel. I didn't realize until the person asked me that, yeah, I suppose uh, I'm asking people to use YouTube to watch my videos. I should probably explain the best way for you to secure it for your kids. There's actually two options to be able to use, and that is there's a specific YouTube Kids, which generally caters for kids up to the age of 12. And during the setup process for setting up a profile for your child, you'll be asked for the age range that you want to put them into. So what I was going to do is I'm going to run through YouTube for Kids first, and just run you through some of the settings that are in there, and how sort of simple it is to set it up and let them run with it. But also realizing that uh, households will generally also use the normal YouTube. The person who asked me to do this basically had blocked it at their router level, which is obviously great for the security of the children, but it stops them from being able to use it themselves, so not so great. So first thing we're going to do is I will show you on the main screen what the YouTube Kids on the web version looks like. So this, after you create the profile from your own Google account, basically, that you log in with, and you can create profiles that way. This one is for Donald, a child of 7 years old who's very young for his age, and needs lots of supervision on the internet. YouTube Kids is excellent for this was for a 7-year-old. So basically, you can see that you can scroll down, and you're not getting any hint of there being anything that you would want to be worried about for your kids to look at. One of the options that you have when setting it up is whether you have search on or off. There's basically millions of videos on YouTube Kids, so content is not a problem. The amount of content is not a problem. But if you want to, you can make changes to this. In the first instance, this point you won't have made a passcode, so you'll be asked a maths question, and you'll go in and you'll be able to set up your own passcode then, which will allow you to go in as a parent and change things. So you can see that this is connected to my main account for my YouTube channel, and down here we can see that Donald is one of my children who I set a profile up for. If I want to add another one, I would just have to add in my passcode here. That will then take us through to this screen. So what I'll do is I will make a profile for my other child, who's slightly older, but nonetheless still very young for his age. And he was also born in April, on the 1st of April. He's in, as I said before, so the categories, and you can see that goes up to the age of 12. So if we go to next, here it explains about the search option. Do you want it on or off? To be fair, with regards to YouTube Kids, I think leaving the search on is fine. I don't think it's a concern from what I've seen. I've tested it. I've not seen anything that would make me want to start with it off. But again, that's down to your preferences as a parent. So I'm going to turn search on for that. And there you see Boris now has a profile that can be logged into for him. We've already gone through that, so sort of you have access then to different areas that you can check you can clear the history. You can if you decide to, you can turn that search on or off, and also in here. So if they were for Donald's profile when he hits the age of 8, if I wanted to, I can go into Donald's and edit that to allow him to be able to start searching and viewing content. I'm going to say OK there because I think it saved it. So there's the profile for for Donald, and there's Boris's, and you can just jump between the two of them. And that is pretty much the web version of YouTube Kids. What I'll do is I'll also show you what would be the main usage for your kids. Are clearly going to be using it on probably tablets or phones or what have you. So I've also got the app version for Android here on an emulator, and we're going to go into that and just go through the process of going into it. So this is our first time going into the app, and if we were to go in there and say we were a kid, we'd have to get the parent to come and unlock the app for us. So, you know, already we've got a bit of security in place there to stop them from getting into it. So I'm a parent. I want to unlock the account for them. I need to put my date of birth that I set up when I set the account up, which was many years ago. And that is correct. It'll give you a little
sign in and create a profile for each kid,
which we will watch.
If you choose to sign in, you get more controls, whether you want to allow lots of videos or handpick your own. You can also block any videos and channels you don't like. The next time you sign into a device, your kids' profiles will be ready to go. Sign in with a parent's account and we'll get started.
So we will do exactly as it's just told us there. We've got the account is already on the device, so we're going to sign in. We're going to run through these settings ourselves anyway, so I'm just going to go with done. You can see that we've got the two accounts there that it already knows about. I'm going to log in as for Boris on this one. And it's pretty similar, to be fair, to what we already saw. Just going to turn down the really cool music. It's pretty similar to what we saw. They have a search ability up here. They can search for, you know, unicorns. I think Boris would like unicorns, and we get lots of content then for unicorns. I want to pop in now and have a look at the settings. That's what I mentioned to you about the mathematical way of getting in, because, you know, apparently kids can't count. So 2 times 6, I'm hoping it's going to be 12. There we go, we're in. But you saw the option back there for setting your own passcode, and that's what I did on the web version. Pretty handy feature here. You can set a time limit, so no more arguing with them about, you know, just 5 more minutes. You set how long you want to give them time for, up to an hour. Start the timer, away it goes. They've got 60 minutes, tells them up top right how long they've got. Let's see what else we've got in here. I'm going to set my own passcode on this one. Oh, 3 8 24. Excellent. Then you put your passcode in, reconfirm. So settings, quite similar to what we saw on the web version. You can decide whether to let them, you know, cast things onto a big TV. You know, if you're a bit worried about your allowance of data, limit it to mobile data usage, or only stream HD video when they're on Wi-Fi. I think the rest are all pretty self-explanatory, and that's pretty much it for the app. So I think the app is probably your easiest solution for younger kids. It's something you can put on their devices, and you can be pretty certain in the knowledge that they're only seeing stuff that is suitable for their ages. YouTube are pretty good at that sort of filtering when it comes to kids. They've recently, last year I believe it was, they've added for content creators, you now have an option when you upload for is this specifically for kids, and it go, you know, it has to fit a parameter of requirements. Yeah, that's the word. It's been a long week. A parameter of requirements for what is allowed on there. So that is the app. Next, we are going to have a look at the YouTube proper, which I will just bring up now. So what we have here is again the web version of the YouTube account, my YouTube account. Icon top right, that's generally where you find the settings. And if we come down to the bottom, you'll see here that restricted mode is currently off. If you've got kids in the house, you know, this is a very simple, quick way of being able to still have YouTube access, but knowing that you will not get a lot of the adult content that you would without it. As it says there, it's not 100% accurate, so you still need to, you know, revert back to the other things that I talk about communication, you know, about what the kids should do if they come across stuff like that you don't want them to see. So and still obviously keep an eye on them, what they're doing on here, but it's certainly better than nothing at all. And there are other options with regards to how you can filter out stuff, like the use of Sophos Home, which is a very good bit of software that I am planning on doing a video on as well. But that allows you a very much more granular ability to choose what types of websites will be allowed to be looked at. And it'll probably be my next video, actually. I was just going through some testing on it because I had a few issues with it previously that I wonder if they've ironed out. But yeah, that is how to do it on the web mode. Very easy. Taking it off again, very easy, as you can see there. So something you probably need to check quite regularly, and also keep an eye on the history of what they're watching as well, so you can have an idea of whether they're turning it off or not. Very easy to do that here on the web version. Just over to the hamburger icon, down to history. You can see that mine is really interesting. A bit of NASA, Mars landings, iPad Pros, and Leffy trying to catch snow. Nothing too awesome in there, but very quick way of checking to see what history is on there, what's being watched. What we're going to do now is we're going to pop over to the app version, just quickly run through that for you, show you how to do the restricted mode on there. So on here, I mean, if you see, this is without. I tested that before. So if you search for fights and it's not restricted, you'll get some, you know, some pretty violent content. There's just take my word for it, it's quite violent, some of the stuff that's in there, and probably some of the stuff you're trying to restrict your kids watching, right? So that's with it in unrestricted mode. So to restrict it, we again go up here to the little icon with your face on it, and then if you come down to settings, and then we go into general, and again you'll see restricted mode here down towards the bottom. So we're going to turn that on. We're going to come back out, and then we'll do that search for fights again. And straight away you can see what it's presenting you with is different. But I caveat that again with the fact that there's probably still going to be some stuff there that you may or may not want. It just depends on the level. I don't think it's the same level as what was previously available, but there's definitely less there than you saw on the previous one. So remember that we're talking about the real YouTube access now, and not the YouTube for kids. So you're still going to get some level of above and beyond what young kids would see. So it's at this point you probably you need to be having that discussion with them to, you know, say what you're happy with them looking at and what you're not happy with them looking at. And again, you'll be able to check the history of what's being watched. just have a look. I'm not too sure on the app. I think that might be part of the library on the app. Go down to library. Yeah, there you go. So history. And again, it's the same as on the web version because you're logged in with the same account. But very easy to turn on. But I say that it's also very easy to turn off. So it comes down to that trust between you and your kids of what you've told them to do, and this just helps to prevent that, the ability for them to be scrolling through and seeing things that you don't want them to see. So as long as they're just using it in the normal way, then this protects to a good level. But keep an eye out for my next one on parental controls, which can be put in place from a dashboard that's centrally located in the Sophos console, and was very good, and hopefully I'll be able to put something together over the next week or so for you. But yeah, hopefully that was useful. Any questions or comments about that, please shout out, comments, or email me. Subscribe, share. Sharing is caring, and the more that we can share this out there, the more people that get access to it, and hopefully use what's already out there for them to protect their kids. Thanks very much. Catch you next time.